The global scrutiny over the violence in Bangladesh, including the attacks and the barely disguised acts of repression against the minority communities, especially the Hindus, has now riled Dhaka. Not just in India, but members of the Parliament in the United Kingdom have also highlighted the issue in their legislature, voicing their concern over the incidents that they are pointing out are going unchecked. The Bangladeshi government is objecting to this. It has said that the statements by the British members of the Parliament are based on complete fabrications. The Bangladesh's Foreign Affairs advisor, Mohammad Tawheed Hussain, has said as much to the British High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Sarah Cook, at a meeting in Dhaka. On Monday, the British Parliament had convened an urgent session to discuss the situation of the minorities in Bangladesh. And Barry Gardner, the Member of Parliament from Brent West in London, that has a large Hindu population, described the situation in Bangladesh as being clearly on a knife edge. The Conservative Member of Parliament, Preeti Patel, the Shadow Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, called the situation very worrying.
These are deep and long-standing ties between our two countries, and the Minister herself is right to point out that even though she's visited Bangladesh recently, as my honourable friend, the member opposite, has said, the degree of escalation in the violence is deeply, deeply concerning. And what we are witnessing now is just uncontrolled violence in many quarters. And we are now watching with horror and shock as further violence is spread in Bangladesh. And all our thoughts in this House are most definitely with the diaspora community here and those who are affected in Bangladesh. These are deeply disturbing reports.
Citing these speeches, Hussain claimed to Cook that there is clearly an attempt to show that there has been more deaths after the 5th of August since Sheikh Hasina was ousted as the Prime Minister. Equally concerned, the Indian parliamentarians have also expressed their shock and anguish over the violence that is being meted out to the minorities. Now, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has pointed out in the Parliament that the primary responsibility for the safety and protection of the life and liberty of all citizens, including and especially of the minorities, rests with the government that is in power. Now, on Wednesday, the agitated members of Parliament condemned the lack of action by the Bangladeshi administration to protect the interests of the minorities. Now, strongly condemning the atrocities against the minority communities, the Bharatiya Janata Party's MP from Mathura, Hema Malini, underscored the emotional and the religious significance of the issue for all Indian people.
The situation is bad. Now I have requested our government to take action and give protection to our ISKCON devotees and हमारे जितने भी हिंदू टेम्पल्स के जितने भी हैं हिंदू भाइयों को ज़रा हेल्प करने के लिए कहा है. ये विदेश नीति की बात नहीं है, ये हमारे भावनाओं की बात है, कृष्ण भक्त की बात है.
Now, the members of Parliament also underscored that the monk who has been attacked is even being denied his basic rights like legal representation. And WION Sudan Sibyl has been tracking the story very closely for us and has sent us this report. Listen in.
India-Bangladesh relationship remains precarious. One of the key issues for India today is the situation of the Hindus in Bangladesh. This is a matter that was raised in the Indian Parliament as well. It was raised in the British Parliament as well. When it comes to India's policy, the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, has said that it is up to the Bangladeshi government to take care of its citizens. Now, there have been almost weekly reports of the situation of the Hindus, the violence taking against them, and India has said that it has raised the matter with the UNIS government. Next week, the Indian Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri, will be travelling to Dhaka, and that will be a visit that will be closely watched as to how it will help reset in the relationship at a time that India is concerned about the situation of the Hindu minorities. And of course, there are many other levels of engagements, including, of course, whether it is the power sharing or, of course, other issues, including, of course, the fact that Bangladesh will be soon the BIMSTEC chair, and this is a grouping where India has invested a lot. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibyl for WION in New Delhi.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.